Welcome to the Metals Investment Forum. My name is Chen Lin. Today it's my pleasure to discuss some investment ideas with rising interest rate. And I also have writing a newsletter and website chenpix.com. So this is my disclaimer. You can read at your pleasure. So basically this is for education purpose only. There's absolutely no investment ideas, advice whatsoever. So just cut to the bottom line. This is February. Okay, this is the real interest rate I download from government website. You can see on the rightmost what happened. The real interest rate went from negative to positive in 1 month. Okay, it changed about 0.5%. For interest rate for the bond market is a huge movement. So I did some study. Okay, let's see what we're going to invest in this environment. So what's the theme so far is there's a massive money printing. There's more stimulus coming, probably in a couple of weeks. And then vaccine brings us a lot of hope. Okay, you look at the Israel data, you look at some other area of United States who has a lot of vaccine, people start feel the freedom. The Fed continued the QE at least till the end of 2021. So this is a 1988 cycle. You can see CRB index is going up, move up and down, going up. Gold went down. Silver has a big spike. If you notice that silver has a big spike. Oil went up, copper went up. Okay, let's look at the next cycle. The CRB is volatile, but going up, still going up after the interest rate stopped rising. Gold is flat. Silver is a little bit flat, but also have a big spike. If you notice, oil went up, copper went up. So this is the 1999 cycle. CRB went up a lot. Gold went up, silver went up. Silver had a spike. Oil went up, copper went up. This is a favorite. This is a commodity, great boom of commodity, right? That's 2004 to 6, 3 years. Commodity went up like crazy. Gold went up, silver went up, big spike. Oil went up, gold went up. I mean, copper went up. So this is a conclusion. Usually the rate Fed, right, when the Fed raise interest rate lasts about 1 to 3 years. Okay, the copper and oil are the best performers. Gold sometimes goes up, sometimes goes down. And silver, interestingly, always have a spike. It could be the ghost of the Hunt brother. If you go back to 50 years, you go to the 80s and 90s, we know the silver spiked to $50 at that time. That was one of the most spectacular of silver. Okay, for us, we need to go back to the history and then know what's going to happen. Fed right now just start thinking about raising interest rate. They probably won't do anything for a year from now. So we are about a few years ahead of the cycle. And then what we're looking at to take profit when the Fed start to stop raising interest rate. So you see the cycle. Right now we are low interest rate, and then they start raising interest rate, and then we come to the end. So we have a couple years ahead of us. So this is a Fed balance sheet, okay? So you can see it just continues to go up. So that's set up the thesis. This is the gold. Unfortunately, the gold price, you can see is coming to pretty weak lately. Okay, so we see testing about 1700 this week, which kind of interesting because it's just the same area that gold was before. So 1700 is a very good support of gold. One thing different, okay, from gold versus other thing like Bitcoin is that when gold drops, the buyer will show up, physical buyer show up. Remember last time at the Metals Investment Forum, I was discussing or complaining there's very little physical demand from China and India. The most investors from New York are buying gold. Now they're selling gold. They're selling there, but all these physical demand are waiting. They're not gone. They're waiting. Okay. If gold drop, should gold drop to 1,500, I'm pretty sure there will be a lot of physical demand will pick up. And if it drop lower, central bank will start buying. Maybe 1,500 will start buying, maybe 1,600. So the thing about gold is even it has a commodity like a big movement, there always a strong buying out there. So let's see if gold can hold 1,700 support here. The copper has been going gangbusters, right? Broke 4. Today it pulled back below 4 and seems to like bounce back again. So 4 seems to be a good resistance. Once it break 4, I expect copper to go higher because there's a structural deficit. And then you see in the research report, copper always do well in a rising rate, always. Oil, I went above 60 WTI. Based on my experience with energy, I think it's very hard to go much higher than this because the fracking will be very active, and then they also Iran could have a deal, with the United States, and their oil could come back to the market. So that's another area. I'm not particularly bullish. I was buying oil last November. Energy company, I sold most of them, but except for those juniors like Pan-Orin, like etc. So silver is interesting. Right now, you can see it's all flat. It's consolidating around $25 area. So let's see if it holds. Okay, I see for our investor, you need to keep in mind that silver always spike during the rising rate, almost every time. So for us investor, we need to prepare for that. Last time they will have a little bit erratic movement, very high volume, and unfortunately it didn't break out. But I believe we will have at least a big breakout. 50 probably too low. We may go to much higher. And then when you come down, probably with silver will stabilize at much higher price because silver is in demand from solar panel to the other thing, clean energy. That's the platinum, one of my favorite. I will discuss it later. It's one of the best performing metals this year, and right now they're using platinum to replace palladium, and then they also have platinum to use in hydrogen cars. That's another big demand. So this is my favorite part. Okay, so you look at the rhodium. Rhodium this is a ETF, so it's actually you need to add another 0 to that. 25,000, actually 26,000 as of today, and went up almost tenfolded from the bottom of last year, a year ago. What it does is used in a catalytic converter. Okay, and with China start implementing the new air control pollution for the cars, this is really in demand. And then the world is running out of rhodium, believe it or not. So I'll talk about that and potentially investment thesis. US dollar, you can see it's around $90 range. And for the long term, if US dollar breaks $90, they will really unleash a big rise for commodities. That's I'm quite excited about. So we want to take a close look at this following the US dollar. So those are the investment ideas. Right now, okay, we want to focus on industrial metals, okay, green metals, until the Fed finish raising the interest rate. So that's for this cycle. And then, as we know, the Fed hasn't started raising interest rate yet. The market is raising interest rate for the Fed. So this is going to be a couple of years off. And I like particularly platinum group metal, platinum, palladium, rhodium, and then copper. I like silver. Oil price, I believe right now is pretty high. Gold is very high. I mean, gold price is quite high for the junior, for the miners. Okay, and then for the investor, we always want to prepare for the spike of silver. It happened once in 10 years, so you don't want to miss that. So one thing is that buy copper stock. Copper, I like copper gold. Okay, with the gold flavor, Freeport-McMoRan is one of the example. It just start falling down today pretty sharply. It's good thing about you don't buy it when copper broke $4. It's on CNBC. Everybody buying Freeport-McMoRan. It's dropping pretty hard just before it came out on the presentation. This always has support about 50-day moving average. We probably will get there next week. That could be an opportunity to buy. But I'm, a little bit stock picking. I like another stock much more than Freeport. It was Spanish Stillwater. Okay, it's a South African project. They bought Stillwater, which is a palladium platinum mine in the United States, Montana. Okay, so you look at the market cap. Okay, so they are the play for this rhodium boom. Okay, look at the rhodium. It's almost like Bitcoin, right? So actually, 2007, that over here, I was recommending to buy rhodium. At that time, I heard rhodium will pick up, or who knows how high it went. So we were buying at about 1,000. Now it's actually this graph is over that. It's 26,000 as of today, and still going higher. Okay, I tell you why that. This is a Chinese standard, okay? But you can just look at China. This is the old standard. This is the new 6A, just implemented last year. This is 6B, going to be implemented this year to the next 2 years. You can see how much reductions it came. Old standard, new standard versus old standard, new standard. So this 6B will be the most strict clean air standard in the world. Okay, it will be stricter than the United States, stricter than Europe, because the pollution in China is a big problem. 40%, they will require 40% more PGM, and then simply the world is just running out of the PGM. They are talking about using palladium to replace rhodium, but you need a 7 ounce of palladium to replace 1 ounce of rhodium. It's still in the lab, still researching that. You think about that. That put the floor of rhodium for 20,000, at least $20,000 dollars, probably go much higher. So Spanish Stillwater, okay, their biggest earning contributor is this rhodium, I can tell you. And then from this year's chart, they will contribute at least $3 billion this year to EBITDA, at least $3 billion. And they already have $2 billion EBITDA in second half of last year. They are paying 87 cents dividend. It's about a $19 stock, right? I mean, when I recommended last week, my subscriber was buying at 18, but now at 19, probably go to 20, going to be much higher. And you looking at that, it's trading about 2 to 3 times EBITDA. It's about 1/3 of Freeport-McMoRan. So when the big cap has such a big earning gap, usually my experience, when it got discovered by Wall Street, it can move very, very quickly. They're supposed to pay 25 to 30% earnings in dividend. I see they pay at least $2 dividend this year, probably more. I would have been surprised to pay more like $3 or $4 for $19, $20 stock. So it's you got double-digit dividend, and then dramatic earning growth. It's debt-free. They're talking about share buyback. So this type of stock I like. And they have also make a lot of gold. They have 1 million ounce gold, I forgot to mention. So they have a PGM, and then they also have gold. So it's have a both flavor, the best of both worlds. So this is my investment philosophy, and I just believe there's too many pump and dump in the junior market. I'm trying to buy through stock picking to make money the old-fashioned way, to create value for shareholders. So that's how we make money. So I tend to invest in different sectors. Okay, I have juniors, I have producer, I have a future, I have also other sectors. We discuss a little bit later in biotech and other things. Okay, so one thing about me is I buy and sell. I do tell people when to sell. I mean, last November, when the Pfizer vaccine came out, just after the last metal investment forum, Pfizer vaccine came out. At that beginning, remember, was 90%. That was a shockwave, right? I immediately told my subscriber to sell gold, right? At that time, to sell gold, we buy back to work stock, we buy cruise liner, we buy energy, we buy movie theater, we buy hotel, we buy, resort, buy whatever, there's quite a few big winners out there. Since then, like one of the hotel, Ashford, actually it tripled in like 2 or 3 weeks. If you buy into those at the right time, it can be very, very profitable. So the hedging risk, I do hedge occasionally. Okay, I shorted oil 2008, I shorted palladium 2020 last year, look at the big drop. And, I tend to hedge in slightly differently. So this is the game, and this is what I mentioned. I was pounding the table to buy gold at 1500 and silver at 12, which was very good buy when it was last year, about a year ago. And I took some profit. And immediately after last Metal Investment Forum, that Pfizer vaccine came out, and I was selling gold. And then we got into those back to work stock doing very well. I sold them. They're still riding. I probably sold too early. So, but good money. And then looking back to buy gold, and also like base metal with gold flavor, PGM with gold flavor, So that's basically what I'm doing. And I think the juniors is very different. Their gold price is quite high. So Discover will get rewarded. So don't get discouraged by the gold price movement. As I said, the difference between gold and Bitcoin is when Bitcoin drops, there's no bottom. Well, gold, there's always a physical buying out there. You just need to be patient. So this is my website here, and I used to focus almost exclusively in junior about 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I'm our hedge fund. They're with me for many, many years, which I really appreciate. If someone came on with my subscriber, and happy to see you here.